Hey guys, Jody Burkeen here. I'm the founder of Man Up God's Way Men's Ministry and the author of Man Up, Becoming a Godly Man in an Ungodly World. I want to thank you for stopping for just a few minutes to hear what I have to say. I want you to think back to your childhood. Most every man will be able to recall the time when he was growing from a boy to a man. The title of my book comes from that point in childhood where you were trying to assert yourself into manhood, a time when you had to man up. Perhaps you can remember a time when you were called a sissy. It might have been from the schoolyard bully, your best friend, or even your father, but you remember it vividly. Sissy, they said, dogging you about some situation that you were in. It might have been sports, a fight, or even just a jump over the creek. Someone challenged you by calling you a sissy, and at that moment, you had a choice. You could walk away and continue to be a sissy in the eyes of the accuser, or you could puff out your chest, grab your webbles, and take the challenge. All of us have walked away at least once. I know it's painful. But I'd like you to remember that day, that one moment in time where you were a coward by someone else's reckoning. No matter how insignificant the situation was, I'm guessing that a part of you still feels like a coward today for turning down that challenge. But maybe you can also recall that time when you stood up to the challenge. This memory is more about accomplishment or victory, not a failure. It's a memory of that day that you were no longer a sissy. But now you're a grown man. The days of childhood bullies and peer pressure are behind you. Or are they? Although there aren't many people calling you a sissy to your face, it may be that you're unknowingly acting like one. Take a look at what the Apostle Paul wrote in the Bible. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good, acceptable, and perfect. Romans 12:2. You may actually be allowing the world to dictate how you live, how you act, and how you don't act as a Christian man. If you're doing this, you are in essence a spiritual sissy. Because what you're doing is you're walking away from the challenge that Jesus has laid out in the Bible for you. Look at what Jesus says in Mark chapter 8, 34 through 35. And he summoned the crowd with his disciples. And he said to them, if anyone wishes to come after me, he must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sakes and the gospel's will save it. It's a challenge that's requiring you to take a stand for the kingdom, not the kingdom of the world, and to prepare ourselves for the bullies of the world that hated Jesus, and they'll also hate you. It's a choice to be a sissy or not to be a sissy. It's a choice to man up or not man up. It's a choice to be an intentional Christian. Some of the biggest spiritual sissies are in the church today. In my book, Man Up, Becoming a Godly Man in an Ungodly World, was written with a concerned heart for the Christian man. I know you're being pulled in a million different directions and losing the battle. I want to encourage you. It's time to man up and get serious about saving the modern day Christian man before we become extinct. Are you or other men you know having trouble in their Christian walk? Do you want to make a difference for God's kingdom? Are you struggling as a family man? It's my prayer and my hope that you'll get this book. It will open your eyes to the troubles that Christian men are in today. The good news is that these troubles can be avoided if we will just man up and follow Jesus. I want you to have this book so bad that it's only being sold for $7. Yeah, that's right, $7. When you get this book, you're going to join me on a journey through 7 areas in a Christian man's life that need major attention. A personal relationship with Jesus, your marriage, fatherhood, serving at church, work, accountability, and discipleship. These are all 7 areas in which we can add some spiritual muscle and stop being the 98-pound spiritual weakling. In the first chapter, you're going to read my testimony, and there you'll see the 98-pound spiritual weakling that I'm referring to. It will give you the glimpse of the struggles that I faced and the biblical workouts that I used to gain that spiritual muscle that I needed to face life's challenges. Paul says in Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. The courage comes from Jesus. Jesus changed my life, he changed my family, and that enhanced my witness for Christ and has allowed me to be the man that he's called me to be. And that's my hope for you, is that you will be the man that he's called you to be. I'm reminded of my buddy Chris. His world changed when he came to one of my conferences. He was drinking, about to lose his marriage, and headed down a path that was going in the wrong direction. That day, he heard the gospel. He took my book and he began applying everything in it. Today, his marriage is stronger than ever. He's an elder in his church, and he began his own men's ministry in Iowa. And that's just one of hundreds, if not thousands, of testimonies from men who have read my book. I want you to be one of these men. But there's more than just a $7 book. By getting this book today, you will receive 3 bonus gifts, all worth over $34. The first bonus gift is my second book called Pursuit of a Godly Life, Living Like Jesus Matters. It's a $15 value, and you're getting it for free. This book will walk you through 2 Peter chapter 1, 5 through 12, where I break down each virtue that Peter talks about and teaches us how to grow in the grace and the knowledge of the Lord Jesus Christ. Bonus number 2 is a Man Up God's Way 30-day devotion challenge. This daily devotion will get you closer to God each and every day. And bonus number 3 is another book that I wrote called The Marriage Advance, 15 answers to questions men won't ask. I break down questions sent to us through Facebook and write a chapter on each questions. We cover all things related in marriage, from porn to prayer, from spiritual leadership to submission. Not only do you get these free gifts, but if you buy today, you'll have an opportunity to apply for the 40-day Kingsman Challenge. Tate Jordan of Kingsman and I have partnered to offer you not only this great deal on these books and these free gifts, but we're going to team up and coach you in the 5 dimensions of the Kingsman way: faith, fitness, finance, family, and focus. We're going to go through 40 days of coaching to help you be the man that you want to be. 40-day Kingsman Challenge is included in that. The 40-day workouts. You've got a 40-day devotion, a 40-day meal plan with a grocery list. We're also going to teach you finances, how to pay off your debt, grow your money. You're going to learn how to have family date nights, and then have a focus plan to put all this in together. But you can only get this if you buy this book. Men, don't miss out on this deal. It won't last forever. For less than a combo meal that you can buy at a fast food joint, you can start to change your life today and man up God's way.